we're getting into the later rounds, but everyone knows the big story. Mr. Shedeur Sanders still not drafted. See if it happens today. It's got to happen today, or it don't happen at all. Right? It's got to happen today, or it ain't happening at all. Imagine he goes undrafted. That'd be pretty wild. Celtics lost last night. I believe the Lakers lost last night. Shedeur Sanders lost last night. Oh.
Here, all getting the Wear Heather Gray memo for the final day of the draft. I am Rich Eisen, pleased to be joined by Charles Davis. Good to see you, sir.
Always great to see you, Rich.
And Daniel Jeremiah at the end of the set. Good to see you, DJ.
Good to see you, boys.
We're all hanging out. We've got rescue puppies coming to the set. It's Stump the Truck Saturday, where we look at our crack staff and say, yeah, but do you have? And it's a lot of fun to see the videos.
And the answer is almost always yes.
And then hopefully everyone can dig into their pockets on behalf of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. That's for later on. But Daniel, you're first up on the actual order of the day, which is the final 155 picks of the 2025 draft. What are you looking forward to today?
Well, I just would encourage everybody to just imagine off into the future, because you're going to see players selected today. They're going to make a major impact on your team. Now, you got to find them. You got to scout them. You got to find them. Bucky Irving last year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was found on this day. You saw the juice that he added to that Tampa offense. Calling the Charger games, Tarheeb Still started 12 games, picked off 4 balls. He was found on this day by Joe Ortiz and Jim Harbaugh. So they're out there. There's guys, there's starters, there's impact players. Now you got to go find them.
How about the Philadelphia Eagles with Jordan Mailata? Finding him in New Zealand, was it New Zealand? Going and bringing him in and making him a big-time player. And then in the Super Bowl itself, think about the number of people that put Patrick Mahomes on the deck. Jordan Davis was a first-rounder. You expect that. Josh Sweat was a fourth-rounder and made himself some money and moved on to the Arizona Cardinals. Milton Williams, third-rounder. Jalen Tuff, third-rounder. Exactly right, DJ. Whether it's third round or 4-2-7, players are out there to be found.
Well, the fans are out here to be found. This young man's being hoisted up by his dad, we assume. Yes, you are so big, brother. There he is. They're all hanging out behind our set. We're here for the final day of the NFL draft. First one ever here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. All the Packers fans and all the fans of all the 32 franchises of the NFL are getting to their spots for the rest of the day. The University of Wisconsin marching band playing the commissioner out to put the Tennessee Titans on the clock to start the final day.
What an incredible way to kick off day 3 of the 2025 NFL Draft. Thank you.
Goodell getting booed still. I love it.
Come on, you can do better than that.
Oh, he's such a cocksucker.
Thank you to the University of Wisconsin Marching Band for setting the tone for what will be an important day to the NFL and all their clubs. And thank you, Green Bay, for the hospitality and for making this such an incredible experience. You were wonderful, so thank you. Before we get started, I want to thank a couple of special guests over to my right here. Next to me, we have local Green Bay business owners who have helped make this draft happen. Thank you. We couldn't have done it without you. We also have behind us all 32 international fans of the year who have traveled from around the globe to be here in Green Bay. Thank you. Also on stage are some amazing young women. They are flag football players from high schools around Wisconsin. Thank you all for being here and playing our game. All right, Green Bay, let's do it. You ready?
See if Shedeur's going to go.
Round 4 of the 2025 NFL Draft is now officially open. The Tennessee Titans are on the clock.
The Titans are under the gun now. 5 minutes again for the rest.
Oh, my goodness. We got Titans, Jacksonville, Giants, New England, Jacksonville, Las Vegas. Jacksonville and Vegas, possible landing spots, I think, for Sanders. The Jets, I'm surprised they haven't taken a crack at a quarterback either. I know they got Fields, but Fields has had trouble everywhere he's going. Didn't really get a real shot in Pittsburgh either, though.
And still, this morning was really everyone trying to figure out why this dramatic, unprecedented slide happened and where he might go. Because if you're looking at the draft board now, and you guys talked about it last night, you're not getting a starting quarterback now. You are not getting someone who's going to contribute right away. You're getting a backup, which is why this changes a little bit for Shedeur Sanders. You're not looking at quarterback-needy teams like you were earlier, like, say, the Raiders or the Steelers. You're looking at teams who need a backup now, teams who can develop. So I would keep an eye on some good teams with established starters, with good culture, who can take this on, deal with the storylines, let him come in and just learn. I think that would be one place where I would look first. And then you start to think about which teams would take a flyer and say, you know, we'll just throw in our quarterback room and figure it all out. I expect him to go early today. I wouldn't be surprised if a team trades up to get him.
I think he goes early today, too.
For Shedeur, better things today than he got yesterday.
Oh, and I'm hoping that way, too, for him, as he's tweeting out another.
Shedeur Sanders on X today. Another day, another opportunity to get a chance to play the game I love. Thank you, God, legendary. Deion Sanders put, we trust God, pound dad / Coach Prime. I think he goes early in this 4th round. If not, I know nothing anymore. This is the craziest plummet in a draft I've ever seen in my life. It's kind of fucked up. It's fucked up at this point. It's not right. They're drafting guys from William and Mary and shit. Come on. Tell me Shedeur's not better than some of these guys. I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
Still on the draft board where we started day 3, and this is my umpteenth draft with you, Daniel.
Yeah.
Never seen this before.
The only thing that's even remotely close would be Keenan Allen when he came out. I think he was my 18th player somewhere along those lines and had injury concerns and fell to the 3rd round, if I'm not mistaken. But nothing like this. I was talking to a former GM this morning, and he was like, some team's going to get a starting caliber quarterback.
Yeah, someone's going to score him.
So he can play. He needs to get in the right opportunity and get a chance to just get comfortable, get settled in the NFL.
Someone's going to score a quarterback that could be a starter.
Value, I don't know that there's much of a debate at this point in time with anybody that you're getting value as a player.
Yeah, no doubt. And Rich, I'm glad you expressed it the way you did. Those are not red flags. You stay with what you are. Will Howard said, either pick me or I'm going to wreck you, and we're all applauding it. I mean, look, stay with who you are. But here's the thing as I look at it. Could it be one of those situations where Robert Griffin, the 3rd, went number 1, and in the 4th round they got Kirk Cousins and they thought they were crazy? Could he be that 4th round quarterback that turns out to have a heck of a career?
Yeah, that's a good point.
A number of times I heard, well, you don't want to have cameras around the backup quarterback's locker unless you ask Hard Knocks to do it. Honestly, I don't understand.
We talked about that last night. That's all we did.
Here's the first pick of the day.
With the 103rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Chimere DK, wide receiver, Florida.
DK.
All right, so a Gator goes first off the board, and I guess the U and Florida can connect in the pros, right?
How about that? Chimere DK getting a chance to go play with Cam Ward. You're right, Rich. Keep that in the state of Florida. Big time speed with DK. Ended up running the low 4.3s. He's got really long arms, and he can track the ball down the field. You'll see him work underneath, and the flat does a nice job there. I thought there for a big, fast guy, there was some route polish. A lot of times you get those guys that are a little bit more raw. I was a little surprised he ran quite as fast.
Jameer DK out of Florida, the first pick in the 4th round, going to Tennessee.
His career right here in the state of Wisconsin at the University of Wisconsin before transferring to Florida. Who did he play with at Wisconsin and Florida? Graham Mertz, the quarterback, and that helped him along the way. But he still had uncertain quarterbacking. Mertz got hurt. Here comes DJ Langway. He's been through the time frame. But I like what Tennessee is doing right now, adding to it, trying to help out Calvin Ridley out on the perimeter with the young quarterback, a big forgiving target as well.
And you just saw, lost amongst, I guess, the pre-draft hoopla, is that Tyler Lockett signed in Tennessee to add to that wide.
That'll help a young quarterback, huh?
So part of the first big moment of this draft was the trade up of 5-2 by Jacksonville to take Travis Hunter, and part of that deal was a swap of 4th round selections where Cleveland moved from this spot down to 126th overall later on in this draft, and Jacksonville actually moved up. They improved their draft position in this 4th round. So here comes Jacksonville now using Cleveland's pick, improved by the trade, to select. Who do you think?
Well, I gotta just tell you real quick. I've used the website Our Lads for depth charts forever. You watch the depth charts. It's the first time I've ever scrolled to look at who they have on offense and who they have on defense, and I've seen the same name on both sides. That's just a first. That was kind of unusual. But looking what they've done this offseason, they've added a lot through free agency on the offensive side of the ball. You're going to add Travis Hunter into the mix. Wyatt Milam as an offensive lineman. On the defensive side of the ball, they've got a nickel and Caleb Bransaw. To me, I look front 7 CD. Try and reinforce that and make some sense with the Jags.
Absolutely.
Jaguars pick is in. Jaguars have missed the playoffs 6 times in the last 7 seasons. Looked like the Jaguars were finally getting somewhere for a while, and then that defense had one big year, and that was it. They got knocked out of the playoffs by New England back when they had Blake Bortles as quarterback. So, I mean, Blake Bortles went in fucking the early draft. I think Shedeur could go early in this fourth round. I think he could go early. Jacksonville's got a couple picks early. Las Vegas has one. The Jets. The Giants. They already took a fucking quarterback, though. The Giants are probably not the team.
When we get the schedule released en masse, let's go back to the stage.
With the 104th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Bashal Tutin, running back, Virginia Tech.
How about
Speed for Liam Cohen.
So stylistically, think about Liam Cohen. I talked to the top about Bucky Irving, found in the 4th round. Cohen was there with Bucky Irving. Yep. Now he goes to Jacksonville in the 4th round to say, I want to go back into that running back water. Get me somebody who can make plays and who is explosive. Now, the testing was legit in the speed matches, ran 4.32. You remember Jerome Harrison, who had a nice little run for a while? He, to me, looked like a faster Jerome Harrison. One-cut runner, home run speed. He runs low to the ground, and he jumped 40.5 inches. There's just a lot of big plays littered throughout his tape.
He's one of those guys, as you see him running there, you see that brace on the left knee? That kind of prevented him from really stepping out early last season, but as time went on, we started to see more and more of that. And we saw no brace in Indianapolis at the Combine, and he was totally turned loose. Production at North Carolina A&T, production at Virginia Tech, and boy, you're exactly right. Liam Cohen gets his Bucky Irving right there. And Rashad White was there last year. Irving ended up bypassing him. ETN, better be ready to go.
Yeah.
So we say hello to the New York Giants, who are now on the clock here. And as you can tell, Giants fans, your favorite Joel Klatt is no longer sitting on this. Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart was the big Thursday night parlay for the Giants, who then came back and added
Darius Alexander, the big DT from Toledo.
Yes, to their defensive line that they added to essentially on Thursday night with Abdul Carter, and then Brian Burns was the big acquisition last year. Kayvon Thibodeau sticking around. Dexter Jackson, one of the best in the business right there in the middle. What do the Giants do here? We will send things back to the
maybe a running back.
that as New England is on the clock. And Jacksonville again behind them. And we'll hear the Raiders as we begin to start wondering about Shedeur Sanders' day here.
Yeah.
On day 3, remarkable that he is still there.
I can't believe he still hasn't gone.
Pick in. Clearly, this won't be Shedeur since they went ahead and got Jackson.
I cannot believe he hasn't been picked yet. What up, Alan?
Crowd now, getting a lot of faithful who are here for day 3 of the draft.
Rich, I don't know if the Jackets making it to round 5 today. I try and get through.
I think you're getting through it today.
Nice. Have fun.
I think you're going to make it to one commercial.
So we said things for this pick being announced where Daniel Jones made his final start as a Giant, country of Germany. So here we go, the Giants with the first international
Probably not.
select.
I don't think so. I'm going to be watching the NFL draft for a bit. See if Shedeur Sanders gets picked. I'm going to do UFC probably tonight. At least the main card. Might check out a little NBA basketball. I'm a little basketballed out. Celtics broke my heart last night. Gave the game away. But really just seeing if Shedeur Sanders is when he's going to get picked. UFC starts, I think it starts at 6 or 7. The good fights start at like 9. It's not a pay-per-view. It's a fight night. But it's a good fight night. There's some decent fighters on the card. The main event should be good. Cam Scatterbo going to the Giants. I told you they're going to take a running back. Cam Scatterbo getting drafted in the 4th round. Good for him. He runs hard. He's not a big guy. Not fancy. Got a hell of a motor. Good for him. I figured they were going to get a running back. They had a horrible running game last year.
It is violent, physical running style. He's low to the ground, and apparently he's indestructible because you see him take some huge hits, deliver huge hits, get right back in the huddle, and do it all over again. It's not just a running. He's a heck of an athlete. He used him in the Wildcat a ton last year. He can catch the ball. The comp is a new one for me, guys, because when I was watching him, I'm like, this guy can do a little bit of everything, but it's all about contact. And to me, he reminded me of a Plinko chip. Get a reminder of what a Plinko chip is. Here's what that looks like in Cam Scatterbo's running style.
Oh, yeah, look at you with the Price is Right video.
I think the Pats are going to focus on their line. I think they're going to focus on the offensive line still. They have a lot of problems up front. Might see them grab someone for a cornerback or something. They're the next pick in this draft coming up. Maybe a cornerback or a safety or defensive or offensive line. They drafted a receiver and a running back already. They drafted an offensive lineman.
So does that mean he'll be great in the showcase showdown against the rest of the NFC East? Is that what you're saying? He's going to win both showcases. Don't go over. Just don't go over.
The 2025 NFL Draft.
I cannot believe no one's touched Shedeur Sanders yet. After the New England pick, we got Jacksonville, Las Vegas, Chicago, New York Jets, Philly, New Orleans. Followed by San Fran, Carolina, Arizona, Miami, Indy, Atlanta, Cincinnati, Tennessee, Tampa Bay. Maybe Vegas or Jacksonville takes a shot at him. Maybe the Jets do. After that, I don't know. Someone's got to take a shot at him. I would imagine eventually. Christ. Patriots going to take Craig Woodson, a safety out of California. Damn, I'm good. I'm pretty good. I haven't done any research either. I just know what the team kind of needs. Craig Woodson out of Cal, safety. 6 foot, 200 pounds. 3-year starter. Had 5 picks. They say he's quick, fills gap, wraps up. Might see him play a little linebacker too in the nickel. Craig Woodson out of Cal. They need help in the secondary. Not a terrible pick. Not a terrible pick.
Mitchell needs.
70+ tackles every year of his college career. That's pretty good for a safety. Jacksonville's got the next pick, followed by Vegas. I'm surprised that Jacksonville doesn't want to take a shot at Shedeur, especially the way Trevor Lawrence has looked. Vegas as well. We all know he's got ties to Brady.
He's announced as a safety for the Patriots.
I love what the Patriots are doing. Got another good player. It's going to be a starter. Craig Woodson.
Yep.
You talk to the folks at Cal, they'll rave about his intelligence, his leadership, his toughness. Then you watch the tape and he makes plays on the football. And then I'm like, okay, well, what's the knock? Well, he can't run. Well, then he goes out and he runs 4.45. Like, well, maybe he's a little bit older. I'm like, guys, we got to stop running out of I'm going to start running out of excuses. Now this guy's not going higher. He's a good football player.
You are very high on what the Patriots are doing.
I like what the Patriots have done too.
And they're being remade in the image of what Mike Vrabel wants. And it's obvious that he and Elliott Wolf are in lockstep in what they're looking for as players and acquiring them and accumulating them in New England.
Here we go, Jacksonville.
Jacksonville's second pick of the day already. And of course, for Jacksonville, it comes from London.
Hello, everyone. Jason Bell here at a fantastic Jaguars event in the city of London. And today has been all about Jaguars, Jag Tag, and the Elite Series Clinic. Everybody has been working so hard, but let's get down to business. With the 107th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Jack Kaiser, linebacker, Notre Dame.
Good pick.
Themselves a leader out of Jack Kaiser, who, if you need him to, can go back there and play some safety, get you out of the ball game in that regard. He's physical. He'll play downhill, take on with his shoulder. I thought his instincts in coverage are what showed up more than anything else. And guys, he's played over 1,000 snaps in his career. So someone who is special teams is going to be a big part of what he does, which is the portion of the draft we're in right now. So you get somebody who can find a role on special teams and we'll grow from there.
I know they went to the same school, but there's some true tranquil in what we're talking about with Jack Kaiser. You mentioned the safety portion of it. Size, build, tranquil move from safety all the way up, playing with the Chargers, now with the Kansas City Chiefs. I think there's the same elements of his game. They both understand what's going on out there. And remember, they played all the way to the national championship. So a lot of people took the time off, didn't go to the Senior Bowl, and understandably so. Jack Kaiser first got out in the field all week long at the Senior Bowl after playing all the way through the season.
When he got there at Notre Dame, talking to those folks, they said
He's a solid player. He might not start right away, but he'll get some playing time. Played a lot of games at Notre Dame. I think he holds the all-time record for games played at Notre Dame. Had 4 interceptions as a linebacker. Averaged over 90 tackles a season. Vegas' pick is in.
This is the first time ever the Jacksonville Jaguars have ever drafted someone with the first name of Jack. They've drafted Miles Jack.
Yeah.
Last name. First guy who can ever, his first name, put the Jack in Jacksonville, has just been drafted. So that's a first for Jack Kaiser.
Well, maybe
he's a leader in that regard already.
The mascot wanted to keep the Jack to himself, Jackson DeVille. So he didn't want any Jacks. So don't draft him.
But I think that's spelled Jax.
I'm just trying to work.
Not to nitpick here.
You know, that's what we do.
Right.
We evaluate everything.
All right, so here's the Raiders, and one of the many spots that we thought on Thursday night, Friday night, where Shedeur Sanders could land.
If he don't go here,
In the months in the lead up, I said, look, I have not heard that they were interested in taking a quarterback.
Pittsburgh's coming up in like the next 10 picks.
In terms of the fit, I love the fit with Shedeur Sanders getting a chance to go there in that system and learn under what they have there in Geno Smith.
And also Chip Kelly.
So Ian Rappaport thought that it could be a quick day for Shedeur, but not quick in the first half hour of the day so far, as we had the Titans put on the clock at the top of this hour. The latest pick of the Raiders, the first team to draft 6 players in this draft, comes from international.
Hi everyone, I'm Jimena Sanchez from Mexico City.
Hey, mommy.
And with the pick 108 in the 2025 NFL Draft, Las Vegas Raiders select Jonathan Thornton, wide receiver from Tennessee.
Wow.
Viva los Raiders!
Dante Thornton.
DJ, I know you're going to take it and run with it.
This is all yours.
But does this not feel like Al Davis weighed into the draft room?
No.
Right? Speed.
Height, weight, speed guy. Came from Oregon, went to Tennessee. And watch what you're going to see on tape. A Strider who goes out and gets it. He's averaging over 20 yards per catch. Talked with his head coach, Josh Heupel, who told me all he has done is gotten better since he's been at Tennessee. I think another year at Tennessee, they were really looking for something big time if they could have had him there. So that's what you're going to get is a long strider. The guy can go all the way downfield and go get it. And he's got the perfect dimensions to be a Raider.
Let's put the
He's got to get
talking about
drafted.
someone who's almost 6'5", 205.
Right? He's got to get drafted at some point. Raiders had 6 picks. They still haven't taken him. Dante Thornton's a big dude, man. It's not a bad pick. He's like 6'4", 200 pounds, big boy. Had 300-plus receiving yards in 2 of the last 3 seasons. Probably needs a little bit of coaching up, but he's a big dude, man. Out there at wide receiver. Buffalo traded up, I believe.
But you remember, that was one Mike Mayock jumped on the table.
No, he hasn't.
To get Max Crosby. He identified him early in that.
Still hasn't been picked, dude. Still hasn't been picked. We're at pick 109. So the Bills just grabbed the 109th pick from the Bears. They gave up the 132nd and 169th. So the Bills are going to pick right now, followed by the Jets, Eagles, Saints, Niners, Panthers, Cardinals, Dolphins, Falcons, Bengals, Titans again. Then after them, we got the Buccaneers, the Panthers again, and Pittsburgh and Green Bay. He's got to go to Pittsburgh in round 4. He's got to go to Pittsburgh in round 4. If he doesn't, I don't know if he gets fucking drafted.
Draft, which again,
Yeah, I don't think it's Mike Tomlin either. I think it's their GM. I was thinking about it last night before I went to bed. People like to blame Tomlin. Tomlin's not the one making the draft picks. He has a say. But it's the general manager that has the final say. Here come the Bills. 109th pick of the draft.
on the clock right now, while the team that's won that division, the Jets, are in the last 5 years, is about to make a pick. For the Grand Poobahs.
The Chicago Bears have traded the 109th pick to the Buffalo Bills.
With the 109th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Deion Walker, defensive tackle, Kentucky. Welcome to the family.
So they go back to the defensive side of the ball and back to Kentucky for the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, Maxwell Harrison, their first-round pick. They go get his teammate in Deion Walker. Deion was somebody who had a nice year in 23, and you're thinking this guy has a chance to maybe track towards being a top 50 pick.
Wow, Deion Walker, Kentucky, 6'7", 330. Big dude. What a monster. What up, James? How you doing, buddy? 6'7", fucking 3 and change. Coming at your quarterback or your running back. It's a big boy.
3, night one filled with tons of hugs on the stage. More memories created today. Don't go anywhere.
When I get high on speed. Good to hear. Jets picking next. I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab a coffee. Oh. Sorry, I had to take a break quick. Go get a coffee, try and wake up. Yeah, I don't have a friggin' clue anymore. Oh, wake up, dude. I didn't even go to bed late. Jets picking 110 next. Then Philly, New Orleans, San Fran, Carolina, Arizona, Miami. Oh. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 picks till Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's got to be the one taking them. Even if they grab Rodgers, I would still grab him at this point. If Pittsburgh doesn't take him, I'll be fucking shocked. At some point today. If not, they have big balls putting their season on Aaron Rodgers and Mason Rudolph. I'm not big on Mason Rudolph. I watched him play like 2 times. I haven't seen him play a lot, but I don't think he's the answer. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I haven't watched him play a ton, but wild.
Green Bay I'll just throw the floor to you. What's on your mind right now, Daniel? What are you thinking about here?
Well, I'm just looking at what's available and what's out there. We're seeing traits go off the board right now. So you're seeing height, weight, speed, or somebody has a specific trait. You saw size with Deion Walker. We've seen Thornton, who's got the big speed.
There you go.
There's no perfect players at this point in time in the draft. So you're going to lean towards who's the better productive football player on the grass, or who's someone who has just some rare trait that we're hoping we can develop.
Okay, so the Jets went tackle in the first round, or offensive line in the first round for a second straight year, Armand Membu, and then they went legacy. Jason Taylor, who did play for the Jets at the end of his career.
That's right.
Went and got his kid Mason Taylor, and now
With the 110th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Arian Smith, wide receiver, Georgia.
Oh, all right, I know who that is.
Yeah, traits that would fall in line here. One of the
That's not a bad
players
pick.
in the draft. He ran 4.36. Was actually a disappointment.
Arian Smith's not a bad player. Had a pretty good year for Georgia. Had almost 1,000 yards receiving. I don't think Georgia got him the ball enough, honestly. One thing about Georgia, they had a lot of drop passes this season. I think that's why some of their wide receivers didn't go higher. They dropped a lot of passes.
You can get. Here's the athleticism that goes along with it. He and the jugs machine need to become very good friends, because he can turn some of those big plays into things that can help the Jets open up their offense. And it's a screaming need as well. You're also drafted for need. Garrett Wilson is the receiver. Josh Reynolds.
Green Bay. I thought you had a little more than that. If you're going to boo me, at least boo with your chest. Come on.
Wow, smack talk down under.
All right. Let's get down to business, huh? With the 111th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the world champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, select Ty Robinson, defensive tackle, Nebraska. Go Birds!
All I can think about is what would happen if somebody from Australia married somebody from Philadelphia. Those kids would be very confused on how to talk as you're growing up.
Very
They're going to be
confused.
tough kids. I'll tell you that. You talk about throwing down Philadelphia and Australia together.
Speaking of tough, Ty Robinson out of Nebraska, rocking that single digit. Start at the end, he tested extremely well. That was almost surprising how well he tested. He's very explosive. He's firm at the point of attack. He's a little bit tight and segmented. I mean, it's not...
Yeah, I saw him play one time against a horrible Patriots team. He wasn't that good. Patriots almost beat him. I think it was like the first game Drake May saw time in. I don't think Drake May... Maybe he did start that game. I could be wrong. Either he came in late or Jacoby started and got hurt. It might have been one of the first games Drake May got to play a little. But the Patriots had him beat and blew it. And he wasn't exceptional at all. And they had Will Levis down there hurt this year. I think if they had faith in him, they would have kept him. So, I'm just not high on him, but I haven't seen him play a ton. But the time I have seen him play, I wasn't impressed. That New England team this year was terrible. I know the Titans were pretty bad too, but they should have beat them better by more than what they did. Really, New England gave the game away.
Well, you look at what they're trying to build up. They've got so many veterans on their team. It feels like they want guys to come in and help them win right away. They want this new regime to get up and running. So I'm looking at some guys on my list that are ready.
Did that game might have even went into overtime, now that I think about it. If it didn't go into overtime, it went like late. Like it was like towards the end and something happened. I remember he made a couple throws. Oh, it was week 9. So yeah, it was probably his first game starting. Titans won 20-17 at home. Had 230 passing yards. And a turnover. Had 2 touchdowns. I just wouldn't want to put my whole season on Mason Rudolph. He started majority of the games this year. They were 3-14. And they weren't a very good team either. But he's kind of been passed around.
Global Flag Football Ambassador for the NFL, coming to you live from Paris, France, with the 112th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. The New Orleans Saints select Danny Stutzman, linebacker, Oklahoma.
Interesting, their selection. This is my third off-the-ball linebacker in this draft. A little bit of a drop.
Yeah, there's Saints fans out in France. There's a lot of French people in New Orleans. Some people speak French down there. Not just New Orleans. Louisiana had a huge French population. The Louisiana Purchase was the U.S. buying the whole western part of the country pretty much from France, if I'm not mistaken. And the fleur-de-lis is big in France as well. The fleur-de-lis that's a French word. I forget what I don't forget what it means. But that's what their symbol's called, a fleur-de-lis. Fun fact. I'm a fountain of useless knowledge, Jet. I'm the smartest dumb guy in the world. It's the symbol of the House of the Nemanjak, a Serbian Orthodox house in medieval Serbia during the medieval Principality of Serbia. But it's in the shape of a lily. And in France, fleur means flower, and lily. It can mean both. But yeah, little bit of friggin' history lesson for you. But there's a lot of French people in Louisiana. A lot. That's what Creole is. French Creole. And they were big in the slave trade too. The French were very big in the slave trade. The French had control of Haiti for years. And then the slaves overran the French and took over Haiti. So there's a lot of French history. Why do you think they say never trust a Frenchman? Well, that and fucking Napoleon was one of the worst leaders ever. I think the Louisiana Purchase was bought from the French. Yeah. Louisiana Purchase was the acquisition of the territory of Louisiana by the United States from the French in 1803. Consisted of most of the western part of the United States. Louisiana all the way up to the Dakotas, all the way up to like Wyoming, Idaho. And it stops right around the Rocky Mountains. So from the Rockies east to Louisiana, pretty much north to south, was all bought from France. for $828,000 square miles. That was the best land deal ever. $15 million for almost 1 million miles. But yeah, there's a big French. There's big French ties to Louisiana. That's probably why people in France like the Saints. That and the fleur de lis that I already told you about. Yeah, French accents are all right. Any accents kind of. I think that happened before the Civil War. I'm not sure, though. It might have had an impact because of it. I don't remember that part exactly. I haven't read American history in a while. But after we made that purchase, we had a lot of problems with Indians. Yeah, it set in motion a lot of the conflicts over slavery. Yeah. I have a lot of books on the Civil War. I just haven't read them in so long. I have to fucking, like, some things I remember, some things I don't. I don't know if it's part of getting older. My memory is not like it used to be. It's still pretty damn good, but not like I used to be. I used to have a friggin' photographic memory when I was a kid. If I read something, I usually don't forget it. It's not as good as what it used to be at all. But when I was younger, I didn't even have to study, really. If I read and took notes in class, I'd look through my notes a little bit, but I didn't have to work hard as a student. I was pretty lucky. In just about every subject but math. Once I got to, like, geometry and calculus, I struggled a little bit. Geometry was actually really hard for me for some reason. I think it was because of my teacher. Didn't make it interesting at all. And it's weird because I did good with geometry eventually. But at the beginning, I was horrible with it. Wow, Carolina just picked Travis Etienne's brother from Georgia. So both of those boys are pros. Impressive. Arizona's picking now.
The young man out of Texas last year, who was a second-round pick, who hurt his knee. Jonathan Brooks, but he got hurt his knee for the second time. So they got to hedge their bets a little bit with the running back situation.
We got so close to the Paris pick being a guy named Etienne, which, you know, is the name Stephen in France.
Yes.
We're hooked on phonics here. We're hooked on phonics.
Still a Rosetta Stone.
Another international pick.
I'm Matt Wilson, senior linebacker for the Arizona Cardinals, and we live here from Sonora, Mexico at Fernando Valenzuela Stadium, home of the Not Heroes de Hermosillo.
Hello, I'm Juan Castro, manager de los Naranjeros de Hermosillo, and we are honored to announce the newest member of the Arizona Cardinals. With the 115th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select
Shedeur Sanders.
Cody Simon, linebacker, Ohio State. Let's go, Cardinals.
Oh, man, when I thought it was an
I thought it was Shedeur Sanders because he couldn't say the S as well. Shedeur Sanders. No, it wasn't Shedeur Sanders. Yeah, algebra wasn't bad. I don't remember a lot of it, though. I remember FOIL. First, outside, inside, last. When you're dealing with things inside and outside parentheses. I did, Jet. Yep. I was all souped. I thought you and friggin' Taz were going live to start working on the last one. Cody Simon, linebacker, Ohio State. He was a good run blocker, run defender. I remember that. So the Texans are going to trade picks with the Dolphins.
out of the 4th round. They get a 6th later on today. They flip a 7th.
No, I got one
to the Texans in this trade. So the Dolphins coming
I'll show you actually.
into this day with just 2 picks, and they're content to just wait for the rest of the day here. It seems like.
Yeah, I've seen some teams go with that strategy, trying to get picks next year. But it's interesting for me for Houston. What are they coming up for? And I'm looking at a couple different options here. The offensive line they've really invested in and tried to change. They've only made 1 pick, I believe, right? That was Ursary on the offensive line. So they brought in a couple receivers in a corner. I thought at some point in time they might look to add another edge rusher to their mix. I mean, their starters are good, but add another guy. So I'm curious to see where they're going, that they felt compelled to go up here and make this move.
Well, it's interesting you say, what are they coming up for? I don't think this is just a specific player. Obviously, you're going to draft someone. This is a Houston team I think is coming up for the big push, to make the big run. The first year was a joyride with D'Amico Ryans and crew, right? C.J. Stroud. Last year, they found out just how difficult it was, because now you're getting everyone's best shot. But guess what? They found their way through, won their division again, and won a playoff game. Now they've gone through that. I think they feel like they've got their legs under them a little bit, got that maturity that runs through the team with your quarterback and your star defender and Will Anderson. They're thinking about a big run, trying to fortify this team. That's why I think Nick Caserio's making these kind of moves, Rich.
What does this say about the draft from the Miami point of view, where they're like, well, we got 2. We didn't even have a late Friday night pick. We're foregoing an early Saturday pick. We'll just take a 6th and a 3 next year. What does that say?
It tells me that they're secure, that they're going to be around. Chris Greer feels comfortable that, hey, we have understanding of ownership, that we just value what can be coming in the future in next year's draft versus what we're staring at this year at this point in time. So that's got to have stability involved in that decision. To your point, CD, I think of Houston, and I think of the ability to be aggressive when C.J. Stroud hasn't got that second contract yet. We've seen the Bears do it in free agency as well as be bold in the draft. Now you're seeing Houston. That clock is ticking, and that number ain't going down. That's going to be a huge piece of the pie. You saw the 49ers had to kind of revamp their...
Everyone's souped over the Texans the last few years. I like C.J. Stroud. I think he's good. I think he's better than I thought he was. They got to get some wide... They lost, what's his name this year? That killed them. I think if they had Diggs healthy, it would have made a big difference. But they got to go get him some people to keep him safe, number one. He got sacked a ton. I got to watch the Texans quite a bit. He got sacked a lot. If I'm not mistaken, I think he got sacked over 50 times, I read. They got to get him some linemen, or they got to get him some receivers. Nico Collins got beat up at the end of the year. New England ended up going and grabbing Diggs. Which I'm not crazy about, but a lot of people like Diggs in New England. I just worry about him being a cancer in the locker room and his shit off the field. And his injuries. A lot of teams trading their picks right now. LA just traded for the 117th pick in the 4th round. The Colts will get the 127th and 140 something. Man, what a beautiful day it looks like in Green Bay. It's shitty and rainy and cold at my house. Fucking cold today. Down in the 40s.
Enjoying a traditional carne asada with Texans fans and friends. And so let's do it. With the 160th pick in 2025 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Woody Marks in the position running back from UCS. Vamos Texans!
Yeah, I mean, they had to get that group together real quick because, again, the Texans' next pick was the 6th round. They were probably just
and they even said UCS instead of USC, so they were really scrambling on that one. They were trying to get there. They scrambled the letters.
All right, tell me about Woody Marks.
Yeah, Woody Marks came over from Texas Tech, got to USC. This dude has caught a lot of footballs throughout his career. How about 261 career receptions? So they've added those wide receivers from Iowa State.
So they drafted a running back from USC to try and help out CJ Stroud.
Southern Cal for the 2nd straight pick. Here's who the Rams traded up 10 spots for.
The Indianapolis Colts have traded the 117th pick to the Los Angeles Rams. With the 117th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Rams select Jarquez Hunter, running back, Auburn.
Yeah, this is one. I talked to Les Sneeder, general manager, the other day, and we were talking about players, and he asked about him specifically. And I said, Les, I used to be an Auburn homer here, an Auburn guy. And he said, no, this is legitimate. And I actually forced me to go back and watch a little bit more and saw a little bit more of what he saw. This is someone with cutback vision. He can step through tackles. He can extend and pluck the ball. He protects it. Only one fumble. And when you look at the Rams last year, CD, Kyron Williams, a lot of.
Yeah, I think it's cool that they're moving the draft around different places. I think it's good. It makes it more exciting so fans everywhere get a shot to see one potentially. I've been to the NBA draft a few times. Pretty cool. I've met a lot of NBA players back in the early 2000s and late 90s. So Jarquez Hunter going to LA, another running back for the Rams. They had some fumble problems in the playoffs. Maybe that's why. I think Williams had a big fumble at the end of the Eagles game, or one of those games he had a big fumble.
20th trade of the draft. So this draft that had 0 first-round trades involved in it, and hardly a trade to be seen, with the exception of, say, like DK Metcalf or what have you. We've now seen 20 drafts since the Titans got put on the clock, or at least the Jaguars got put themselves on the clock instead of the Cleveland Browns. So the Atlanta Falcons next pick, and then the Bengals and the Titans are currently on the clock.
Hello from Berlin, Germany, the location of this year's NFL Germany game. My name is Contra K, and I am proud to announce the Falcons' next pick. With the 118th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, Billy Bowman, defensive back, Oklahoma.
A good player here, Billy Bowman, out of Oklahoma. They'll play him deep. They'll play him as that robber, let him get down in the box and make plays. He gets to the perimeter. He's an outstanding tackler, as you see right here. Here's an example of that range. You want to run to the outside. He's able to take excellent angles and arrives with some bad intentions there. Real physical player. Here's that robber I'm talking about. Able to drop down in the middle if you want him to. Read quarterback and make plays. Here he is showing you some of those instincts. You want to fake a field goal, I'm all over it. I'm going to sniff that one out, CD.
Yeah, and how about my comp for him with Quandre Diggs? You're talking about a guy who has instincts, a guy can see the plays in front of him, drop it to the low area, and you mentioned bad
Billy Bowman cracked. This kid's a big hitter. Falcons might have got themselves a pretty decent safety in the 4th round. Dude's got a nose for the ball. He hits. At least looking at his highlights. Holy shit. Bengals pick is in followed by the Titans, Buccaneers, Panthers, and Steelers.
100 picks from now.
Oh. Oh, man. Celtics fucking killing me, man. I'm so mad they lost that game yesterday. Gave that fucking game away. Now we got to go play the Magic again tomorrow. They're going to be all amped up. Celtics letting themselves get beat up. I can't believe Missoula hasn't put a scrub in yet to check the Magic. I'm so fucking sick of him letting his guys get beat up. Like, what are we doing, Joe? We're just going to let him beat us up until everyone's hurt? That last night killed me. Tatum's wide open for a fucking 18-foot jumper. They don't even throw him the ball. He had like 37. Fucking idiots. Yeah, something about them getting tougher, or if they want to play bully ball, we can play bully ball or something. Then why didn't you do it? They did. They played right into Orlando's hand yesterday. Right into it. They weren't even shooting threes like normal. They're trying to get in the lane and play rough and shit. They fed right into Orlando's fucking hand. And still almost then came back and won. Yeah, fuck it. Someone's got to do it. The coach don't want to do it. Fucking Missoula, man. I've given Joe Missoula every benefit of the doubt for the most part of his career. He's got to fucking get these guys. He's got to do something. Because the last night was unacceptable. I know it's only one game, but it turned the series around. Magic... Game 4 is going to be a motherfucker now. Unless the Celtics come out and shoot the lights out. Game 4 is going to be even more physical. And the thing is he sends one of his guys out there, one of the scrubs, to get a flagrant foul. The refs will go, all right, enough. It's getting too dangerous. Like... You got to check the temperature. Exactly. And that fucking lob for an alley-oop, that's the old Celtics play from years ago after the Larry Bird era. They used to try it all the time when, like, McHale was at his end and Parrish. It never fucking worked, ever. I've never seen it work once. The lob to the rim as time runs down. I've never seen it work in any fucking sport. Not from the sideline. Maybe from underneath the basket. But not from the bench area. It's a tough throw. Titans select Gunnar Helm out of Texas. Tight end. Had 7 touchdowns this year.
Buccaneers, another internationally made selection, and the Panthers pick. The Steelers are back on the clock as we speak.
Hello, from Düsseldorf, the second Buccaneers embassy in Germany. It's time to welcome the newest member of the crew. With the 121st pick in the 2025 NFL
everyone's going to start trying.
the Tampa Bay
You're right.
Buccaneers select David Walker, linebacker, Central Arkansas.
CD, I know this is a favorite of yours. I'm going to let you take this one away.
Yeah, you knew I fell in love with this kid.
David Walker, Central Arkansas. Well, if Shedeur don't go to Carolina or Pittsburgh, Green Bay's probably not going to take him. The Chargers probably not going to take him. I don't think Cleveland takes him. You never know. Indy and Washington probably don't take him. Baltimore, Philly, New Orleans, Chicago, Kansas City, Denver, Las Vegas, Baltimore. If Carolina and Pittsburgh don't take him, I don't see him going until maybe Vegas. We're almost through the fourth round. We got to be halfway through it.
Wait a minute, hold on. Okay, I got it. Central Arkansas as well.
There you go.
I love all of this. Carolina is picked when we come back. Packers are on the clock now.
If he goes undrafted, they just out to get Prime and his kid. I don't know. I think it's more something happened. I think something happened with the father saying something or doing something. I can't wait to find out what actually did happen. But that kid from Louisville, I saw the video of him in the combine. He's not better than Shedeur Sanders, dude. I can see Jackson Dot, maybe. I can see Milrow. That dude, Gabriel, he played like 60. He threw for so many touchdowns. Yeah, he played for 6 years in college basketball, college football. Played 6 years because of COVID. He was a 6-year player. Any other time you'd be ripping on a guy for playing too much, being too old. But I saw that kid from Louisville throw. He was fucking terrible, dude. One of the throws I could have made, he wasn't even close on. It was like a little slant over the middle. He threw it like 20 feet in front of the guy. Missed him terribly. Like, I did a little bit of research last night, and even some of the quarterbacks that have gone before him, he's better than. I'd be willing to bet. Whatever we end up finding out, it's going to be interesting. If we ever do. Yeah, we're over halfway through the fourth round. A little bit over halfway through the fourth round. Yeah, I think that might be it, Dennis. I think that because his father coaches, if whatever team drafts him, they're going to have to hear about Dion being their head coach. And then whatever else comes with that shit. The media. Well, he's better than that kid that got drafted out of Oregon. And he's better than that kid out of Louisville. I don't care what anyone says. If not, he's got to be as good. He was the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year. He threw for 4,000 something yards. Like, he's got to be fucking halfway decent.
aggressive. He picks his line, and he will hit the gas. Big time collisions. You see him here in the alley as well. He gets there quick and makes big time tackles, and he's got some ball skills. He can go get it.
Pittsburgh's up now. Does he go to
With the
Pittsburgh?
123rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Jack Sawyer, linebacker,
Wow.
Ohio State.
The 10th Buckeye from the national championship team has gone off the board, and Jack Sawyer is going to Pittsburgh.
That's a good pick for Pittsburgh. Jack Sawyer
By the way, drafted
won
by
the
Pittsburgh.
game for them against Notre Dame.
Pittsburgh knows what they like and what fits not only for their team and organization, but inside their division.
That's a good pick.
This is a bully division, CD. We talk about it all the time,
Good
and that's
pick.
his game. It's physical. He'll ragdoll tight ends at the point of attack. As a rusher, it's a lot of power. He's going to get to your chest as soon as he can. He's going to try and run right through you. The hand.
Jack Sawyer had so many big plays for Ohio State. That's a good pick for the Steelers. Good pick. And they grabbed Derek Harmon too. He's going to end up starting, dude. He won't start over Watt. He'll start on the other side. He's going to end up playing. That kid can ball, dude. If he can play anything like he did in college, he's going to be a starter. He's not going to take Watt's spot, obviously, but he's going to get some fucking... If they play 4 on the line, he's going to be in the mix. Yeah, I thought the Raiders would have took a shot on him. I thought maybe Jacksonville. I thought the Steelers. I thought maybe the Saints, but they already got their quarterback, supposedly. The Browns. No one fucking biting on them. And the teams coming up picking, the Browns are probably the only one I see taking a crack at them. Green Bay's pick is in. Then we got Chargers, Browns, Colts, Redskins, Ravens, Eagles, Saints, Bears. Followed by Chiefs, Broncos, Raiders, Ravens, Seahawks, Niners. Maybe Cleveland takes them coming up. Maybe Las Vegas. Other than that, it don't look too hot.
And every time the Packers are on the clock, this is what happens.
Yeah, Highsmith might not be on the other side for long, though. I'm telling you, that kid's good, dude. You guys just scored. You should be souped. That kid is good. Look into him. Good.
This is a special pick, not just because it's the Packers. This young man is here today, so we want to introduce him. So give him a good round of applause. With the 124th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Barron Sorrell, defensive end, Texas.
And here's why the commissioner came out to announce it, because Barron Sorrell has been in the green room this entire time. And here he is.
Wow. Good for him sticking around.
Pretty cool. Now, I don't think he had any expectation of night one, but I think there was the thought that yesterday was going to be...
Good for him. I give that dude credit. He went and sat in the green room the entire time waiting. Good for him. At least he didn't hide out at home, right?
Not very long, but everyone thought he was a lock first rounder and came back the second day with not the suit, but the sweat.
Yeah, a lot of teams are going defensive line, Dennis. I think everyone's trying to do what the Eagles are doing. I think everyone saw what the Eagles have done. And it seems like you can't have enough defensive linemen. Philly played like 7 or 8 guys during their championship run. I think it's the way the league's kind of going. We've seen a lot of defensive linemen drafted. Another guy drafted, edge rusher. 4 sacks in his last 3 seasons, 2-time All Big 12 honorable mention. Dude sat in the green room all 3 days. He wasn't supposed to be a first-round pick, but he was supposed to go yesterday. But I think a lot of people are trying to copycat what the Eagles are doing.
When Detroit took him, came back in the 3rd round. Remember, he came back almost at the Detroit letter.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. This guy's hanging in there.
That's another reason I'm kind of surprised that Shedeur hasn't gone either. Because there's a lot of teams that need a 3rd quarterback, maybe even a 4th. How many quarterbacks did we see get hurt last year, the last couple years? It's like you almost need 3 quarterbacks on your team. That's why I'm surprised Sanders hasn't been picked as well. Just because there's been so many injuries at quarterback every year. Even if you need a guy to fill in here and there, he could fill in. What up, G? Salute.
He's able to get some penetration that way. But there's games where he jumps off the tape. There's other games where he can disappear at times. But this is someone who's got it all in his body, CD. I mean, you can see it. He's really well built and he can run.
Really enjoyed him at the Senior Bowl because you remember they always had that one-on-one challenge at the end of practice. He seemed to end up in it much more often than other people and never turned down an opportunity.
So I guess Sorrell doesn't have far to walk to shake the hands of the people who drafted him. They're really across the parking lot here. As the Green Bay Packers have put on quite the show for the draft. And wonderful moment for this young man. Finally getting out of the green room. Finally hugging the commissioner. And now meeting and greeting his new fans one by one under a beautiful sunny sky here in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Chargers pick is next, followed by Cleveland. If Cleveland doesn't take him, it's got to be Vegas is the next potential one. That's 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's like 9. If he doesn't get drafted by Cleveland, Las Vegas is 9 picks away. They might take him. There's only 12 picks left in the 4th round. Minnesota leads off the 5th round. I know they got questions at quarterback that they don't know yet. If McCarthy's going to be any good or not. Losing Sam Darnold to Seattle, maybe. If he doesn't get drafted, it's going to cause a fucking tirade. What happens if he doesn't get drafted, man? Does it cause like a huge stir with people calling out racism and shit? Or does it open up an investigation into some kind of scandal, looking into the whole situation? Are they Colin Kaepernick him? Sanders? This is nuts. I wonder what Shannon Sharp thinks about the whole thing. Some people say racism, collusion, sabotage. Maybe. Yeah, it's not right. At this point, it makes no sense, Jet. I'm the last person that, like, I'm not the guy that goes and cries racism over every little thing. But something's fucking up. And if it ain't race, it's got to be character. And if it's got anything to do with his dad, it really shouldn't affect him. You know, no matter how much they might not like Dion, they should let the kid play.
Introduced to his new fans in his new hometown.
You don't think he's that good, Gino? You don't think he's better than the kid from Louisville? I watched that kid throw, man. He was terrible at the combine. He's better than some guys that have been taken before him. He's better than that kid from Oregon. That kid from Oregon's played in the fucking college for 6 years. He's good enough to be drafted. I've seen way worse quarterbacks get drafted. Way worse. We've seen way worse quarterbacks than Shedeur. I think it's something deeper. I don't think it's just, oh, he sucks. He was supposed to be a top 5 pick.
125th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Kyle Kennard, defensive end, South Carolina.
South Carolina saw him at Georgia Tech. When he entered into the portal, they knew it was just a 1-for-1. You're only going to get 1 year.
Another defensive lineman, edge rusher. Yeah, but that doesn't mean he shouldn't get a chance to get richer. We've just seen so many bad quarterbacks get drafted over the years. I think it's deeper than that. I don't think it's just oh, he stinks or he can't throw a certain pass well. Let's not forget he's young enough to learn.
Hey, we cannot wait to welcome Browns fans from all over the world to London this season when the Browns play in Tottenham Stadium. But first, with the 126th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Dylan Sampson, running back, Tennessee.
So that's 2 straight Dylans. They spell it differently. Gabriel late last night. Now
Another running back.
Sampson, the running back out of Tennessee. Charles.
This is a nice pick for them because we've been talking about Cleveland.
Cleveland drafted another running back. I don't think he has any more eligibility, Gino. I thought he was a senior. He might have one more year. I don't know. If he's got an agent, I don't think he can go back to school. I don't know how that works anymore. Maybe that's what he's going to do, go back to college if they let him. It's not going to help him, I don't think. Under NFL and NCAA eligibility rules, once a player declares for the NFL draft, they have waived their remaining college eligibility as set forth here by the league. The NFL encourages most underclassmen to finish their college eligibility and earn a degree while maturing as a professional prospect. Participating in the draft means that an underclassman loses his remaining eligibility. If he is not selected by an NFL team, he will not be able to play another college season, and he will not be able to improve his draft standing for the following year's draft. Other pro leagues, such as the NBA, allow a player to return to school after declaring for the draft, providing they have not retained an agent. While Sanders and his camp have handled his representation without hiring an agent as of right now, that's what they said 2 hours ago. Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk. The NFL does not have this same precision. So I guess he doesn't have technically an agent. Like you were saying, Jet, it's a weird thing. Could be challenged in court. But we've learned one very important thing about college football in recent years. Most, if not all, NCAA rules violate federal antitrust laws. And with players now making millions in NIL money, why shouldn't a player with remaining eligibility be allowed to return? No one's ever tested that rule. Shedeur may. If it fails, he could then sign a rookie deal and join whatever team eventually drafts him. He'd earn more money going back to college, no doubt about that. It even says it in the article. Also, they said he could go to a different school, try to go to a different school. Here's another twist that he should consider. Don't go back to Colorado. His 2026 draft stock could be enhanced by finding a new team and by providing that he can play at a high level away from his father. This is also a small matter that Colorado's already retired his jersey. That might cause legal barriers too. It even says it in this article, for what it's worth. Legal barriers might prevent this from being a true option since they retired his jersey. And then who knows how the league would view him next year if he opted to fight to head back to school rather than prove his worth in training camp after being a late round pick. There is an old school aspect to the evaluation game, and it is not hard to believe that Sanders' approach of minimal workouts and meetings rubbed the league the wrong way. So I guess he must have a year, but he declared it's fucking a lot of gray areas, it sounds like. He's either a junior or he can't be a senior. He's got to be a junior. Right? He's got to be a junior, I would assume. I don't know how, because he played 2 years in fucking... I think he played 2 years in the HBCU, Jackson State. Maybe because it's not a D1 school, he gets to play longer. I've heard of fifth-year seniors. I don't know the rules with the NIL anymore either. Like you said, it's the wild, wild west for sure, Dennis. And it's fucked up, right? Because you got a guy like Gabriel, everyone knocked for playing for all these different teams in college. That kid made a ton of money on NIL deals, jumping school to school to school. Everyone knocked him for being old, getting drafted, playing 6 years of college football, and he gets drafted above a guy that was supposed to be a top pick. Crazy. I thought him not going to the combine hurt him. I don't think Cam Ward went to the combine though either. Did Cam Ward go to the combine? I know Shedeur had a pro day at Colorado, and he didn't even throw that many different passes. He threw about 50 balls. I don't think Cam Ward went to the combine either. I don't think Shedeur should have had his jersey retired either. Not yet. Come on. Even Travis Hunter, I mean, I see him getting retired maybe at one point because he played both ways, but retiring numbers, especially in college, is kind of tough. So many kids go through those schools. They have more players than an NFL team because of, you know what I mean? The red shirts and transfers. Like, it's hard to retire. You better be a really great player to get your number retired in college. There's not that many numbers to go around. Well, I think they gave them guys too much of recognition too soon. Yeah, I mean, everything they ripped that Oregon quarterback for all year long, and then he gets drafted and they love him. I think he's going to shit the bed terribly. I think people are going to be – I don't think you're going to see that kid around for long. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But I don't think he's as good as Shedeur. I don't think the kid from Louisville is good as Shedeur. I could see Dart being in the same conversation. I could see Milrow. He's an athletic freak. Absolute athletic freak. I could see that, understand that. I get Cam Ward. The other guys I don't get. I don't get it. Yeah, I don't think Stewart does have his jersey retired. I think Westbrook just got his jersey retired recently. I'll look it up. I don't even think Westbrook's jersey's retired either. It says Brian White, Joe Roaming, Bobby Anderson. Rashawn Salam was a monster. He's retired. He didn't have a good NFL career. He got hurt. He was nasty. Running back, number 19. If I'm not mistaken, I think he was a running back. I know there was a Salam that was a defensive lineman too. Yeah, he was a running back. There was a couple of people with the last name Salam that have been in the league. He actually passed away. 42 years old, sad. 2019. I thought they retired Westbrook's number. I'm wrong. It doesn't say it anyway. Crazy. Crazy. Still no Shedeur.
And then the Bears are on the clock right now, so we're almost caught up. So the Jets traded with the Eagles, and I guess did they tell Howie Roseman we're moving up to take an Alabama defensive player, and Howie's like, if I'm going to trade you the pick, it's got to at least be on brand for me. That part of the trade.
They got it backwards. They flipped the script a little bit on this.
So they're saying, hey, listen, Howie, let us trade. It would have been the guy you chose anyway, right?
It had to be Alabama or Georgia. Malachi Moore, you talk to the folks at Alabama, they use the word trust. They trusted him. As soon as he got on campus, they could get him right on the field.
So he's the latest Jet. And now the Saints' latest selection. They're sixth of this draft.
I would like to thank the NFL and the Saints for being here today. With the 131st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Quincy Riley, defensive back, Louisville. Let's go Saints! Woo dat!
Louisville.
I love this player. Quincy Riley is talented.
Louisville. Who dat? She's from France. She's not from France. That lady was fucking German. You could tell. Her last name's Schmidt. But I digress. Louisville. From Louisville. Quarterback Quincy Riley. NFL's trying to go global. I'm surprised Jacksonville hasn't moved to London yet. I know they want to bad. Quincy Riley from Louisville. 15 picks, 40 pass breakups in his career between Louisville and Middle Tennessee. Chicago, Kansas City, Denver, Las Vegas, Baltimore, Seattle, San Fran. And then we go to round 5. Crazy. He might not get drafted, man. He might not.
Seth Rollins, he just set it up for him, didn't he? Took the belt and left.
Hey, Clay Matthews set the tone. Like,
Gotta get fast.
before the Titans got even put on the clock to start this thing.
Did you see the commish when he jumped it in? The commish like, commish was like, we didn't even put him on the clock yet.
Clay Matthews set the tone. He's a tone setter when he played here in Green Bay.
Get after people.
All right, so the Chicago Bears, take a look at their draft. It started with Colston Loveland being the first tight end off the board.
And then Shedeur Sanders, like we said, like, how are you going to go back to college when you got your number retired? Like, that's going to be a bad look if they allow him to pull it off. And then they're going to say he ran back to daddy. So it's like a wicked bad look for him.
Selection. This is their first pick since the 62nd pick overall. They traded down earlier to get a 5th in their pocket when the Bills moved up to take Deion Walker, the defensive tackle out of Kentucky. So just kind of setting the stage here for your thoughts, Dan.
You look at their early work that they did, starting the offseason.
And I'm not even a huge fan of the kid. Like, I think he's decent. I think he's good enough to be drafted. But I'm not like a huge Deion guy or Colorado guy, or I don't have a horse in the race. I just think I think it's fucked up at this point, though.
132nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Ruben Hippolyte II, linebacker, Maryland.
Hippolyte is a very impolite welcome
Nice.
in the National Football League. What do you think here?
Yeah, they're not going to do that, Gino. We know they're not going to do that. That would be humiliating, dude. Like, it's just, they're not going to do that. I don't think. I think it's going to go either really good, Dennis, or horribly wrong. I don't think it's going to be any middle ground. I know what you're saying, Gino, but they're not going to do it. It's a bad look. It's a horrible, horrible look. Retire your number and then unretire it and come back to play college. They're not going to do that shit. If they do, that's the most retarded thing I ever heard of in my life. Like, oh, you were great. Now you're not great no more. Not like he got caught touching kids, I don't think. They're not going to do that. Unless it's the only way, like the NFL says, unretire your number and go back to school. Yeah, no. I don't think so, Gino. I know what you're saying, but I don't see it that way. They ripped the kid apart for everything. You don't think they're going to rip him apart for that? Deion won't have that, and I wouldn't have that. And if I was Shedeur, I'd tell them go fuck themselves too. He ain't taking my shit down. I'll go and fucking get it from the mud. I'd go undrafted before I did that. That's a horrible look.
Half of the game at Camp Randall.
Let's tough for
Kansas City, Denver, Las Vegas, Baltimore, Seattle, San Fran. Maybe Vegas, maybe Seattle. Maybe. Minnesota, Carolina, Tennessee, Minnesota, Miami, New England, Philadelphia, New England, San Fran. He might not go for a while now. Vegas might take a crack at him. We know what teams it's going to be. We know the teams it's going to be. Cleveland, Miami getting ready to play. Well, they already started, actually. Let's see what's up with that. Cleveland already up by 13. Denver might go down 3-1 today. Crazy. If Denver loses today, they should have been swept.
unbelievable. We call that evolution.
Is this minion out there asking for money for a picture with him?
We'll find out in a second.
Was geht, Green Bay? Chiefs Kingdom is here, and the German Arrowheads are ready for the next. With the 133rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Jalen Royce, wide receiver, Utah State.
Oh, it's a Kansas City look.
Time to run it back.
From Utah State. All right, perfect to play an Arrowhead right next to where the
Jalen Royals, wide receiver, Utah State. People said he could have been a higher draft pick. He had some funky shit happen. He's got some speed, though. They said he might have gone early in this fourth round. Slipped to the end. Mahomes gets another weapon. A guy that can fly. Yeah, he only played 7 games this year. Had 834 receiving yards. 7 touchdowns. Just what Mahomes needs. Another weapon. Wow. I can't believe this shit. I can't believe he hasn't been picked yet. He should have been drafted by now. I'm not even a fan of him, but he should have been drafted by now. He has a winning record, 13-12. Not the greatest record. Got beat up in a bowl game. He's still better than some of the guys selected before him, though. He's better than that kid Gabriel. He's better than the kid from fucking Louisville. I feel bad for him at this point. I think it's fucked up. I don't think it has anything to do with how he can play. And we're going to find out eventually. You don't? You don't think he's better than any quarterback in this draft? I think you're being, I think you're probably biased. I think you probably don't like Dion. I think you probably don't like Colorado or the Sanders family. I think those are the people that are happy. And I'm not a fan of them either. Like I'm not a hater though either. I really think this kid's better than at least 2 quarterbacks taken before him. I can see Jackson Dot and him being head to head. I can see Milroe. He's an athletic freak. Cam Ward, obviously. The other guys, I don't see it. Especially when he was supposed to be a top 5 pick at the end of the season. And then he went from a top 5 pick to a first round pick. And now no one wants him. Something's up. Something fucked up's going on. I don't know if they're trying to prove a point or make an example, but something is going on. No doubt about it. Another edge rusher. Q Robinson out of Alabama going to Denver. I almost hope Sanders gets drafted and does good now to shit on all the people that hate on him. I really do.
Defender has gone off the board, and the Denver Broncos just keep adding to the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, they've been aggressive, man. That defense was really good last year.
That's Vance Joseph, and that defense was really good last year. And I don't think people expected it to be as good as it was. But you got increased production from guys like Zach Allen and Nick Bonita, and things really started to take off.
Yeah, just some people are haters, man. That's the problem with sports and politics and like talking about certain subjects. Some people are just haters. They won't look at things objectively. They just don't like a guy, and then that's it. Yeah, I don't know about that either, Dennis. I mean, you look at some other guys they say that about. It didn't stop anyone from drafting fucking Lamar Jackson. There's plenty of cocky, confident guys. You kind of want your quarterback to be a little bit like that. You could give me every excuse under the sun. You could give me every excuse under the sun. I don't think any of them apply to how far we are in the draft and him not being drafted. We've seen serial killers get fucking drafted higher. Literally.
I want to say hi to my kids back in Australia. Ilya, Aria, Roman, I love you. I want to give a huge shout out to my football teams back in Australia, the ACT Women's Monarchs flag football team and the Canberra Centurions. With the 135th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Tonka Hemingway, defensive tackle, South Carolina. Just win, baby!
Wow.
It's 3:47 in the morning in Australia, so this might be the most jet-lagged pick in the history of the NFL Draft. Tonka Hemingway, is he built like a truck?
He's a versatile. So if a Hemingway, if you're a Tonka truck, you got to be able to do a lot of different things, I guess, if you're playing with that little toy truck.
I agree, Jeff.
He's someone that moves all over the line of scrimmage.
I think we're past the point where you can use the excuse. He's cocky. He's not that good. Like, dude was supposed to be a number 1 first round pick regardless. People loved this kid up until a week ago. Something is up. Or there's something going on in his closet, like you say, that's going to come out. Or they're trying to keep under wraps. Just everyone doesn't want him now? Nobody? I don't believe it. I think they were told not to fucking take him or something at this point.
4, 5, 6, 7 chances to draft him and didn't. Does that mean he's not a top their draft board, or they just view Tonka Hemingway as more a starter that can help them now?
Got 2 more picks, and we're in the 5th round. You could throw all them excuses out the window now. I hope New England takes him. Fuck it. We need a 3rd quarterback. That's what I'm saying, Dennis. They can use all that shit against them all they want. Never heard of him getting in trouble. Maybe he's a wild man and they keep it under wraps. I don't think he is, though. Look at Joe Flacco. They drafted him out of Delaware in the 1st round. And he had a big arm and shit. I get it. Tall guy. But he played at Delaware. You're going to knock a kid that played in like the 3rd or 4th best conference in D1? I've seen so many worse quarterbacks get picked throughout the draft, throughout the history of it. So, like, even if he's a flop, to not pick him at all? Fucking Ryan Leaf, everyone was souped about. He had massive problems off the field.
The Baltimore Ravens have traded the 136th pick to the Tennessee Titans. With the 136th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Alec Iamaner, wide receiver, Stanford.
Oh, this is a fun one here because you see that nugget at the...
And then on top of it, this is the other thing about it. This is the other thing about it. They said how bad of a draft it was for quarterbacks. The scouts still had him as the 2nd quarterback in the draft. So if we're in a draft where no one wants quarterbacks and there's a need for a quarterback, that's what I don't get about it either. The whole thing is just fucking don't make sense. Don't make sense. I seen guys that played way worse in college on teams that aren't the same level. Drafted fucking way higher. Way higher. Something's up. Something is up. Patriots going to pick.
The agent's dad down at the Senior Bowl. Alec Iamaner's mom was formerly an arm wrestler. So can we get a matchup?
Take him,
with
New
Tom?
England.
Tom doesn't want any part of that. I can tell you that.
Tom is, we got to send Tom to Nashville now.
Take him as a backup, New England. I'd love to see New England take him as a backup. Trade him next year when someone needs him. Because he's a trade piece. Even if you draft him, you can trade him.
To move in to take this pick here.
Me too, Jeff.
Only cost them
Makes me
their
wonder.
last pick in the draft that they have, which is a 7th rounder, 238. So their draft will end now with pick 220 unless something changes. They just moved up 7 spots from the 5th round to the end of the 4th round for this selection. So that's what's up.
All right. Didn't Mike Vrabel say we won free agency, but we got to continue to win? Guess what? They're continuing to win. And I'm just going to tell you right now, we're long.
I like the Patriots draft so far. We got a running back. We got a few offensive linemen. We needed a center. We needed a tackle. We got those. We got a pretty decent safety, I think, out of Cal. Got a receiver out of Washington State people like. A lot of people saying the Patriots are having a really good draft. I don't know much out of the kid about Washington State. The two linemen I know a little bit about. The running back out of Ohio State, New England grab, had a very good college career. Played really well this year for the national champs. Vrabel went to Ohio State too. So he knows he's got a – Vrabel's like a legend at Ohio State. They love him. Says the Pats pick is in. I just don't want to get a copyright strike for the music in the background.
2025 NFL draft that has been all about why Shedeur Sanders is still on the draft board. And man, would I love to have that storyline end for.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not yet. No slot receivers they like, I guess.
Hello everyone, I'm Laura Cheese, defender for Flamengo and the Brazil national soccer team, proudly representing Pets Nation from the beautiful city of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. And with the 137th pick, the New England Patriots select Joshua Farmer, defensive tackle, Florida State. Go Pats!
Did they fly past the Patriots down there, or just the
I was just
costume?
wondering how they clear
Is that a local in
customs.
there?
How do you clear customs with that head?
I was wondering. Joshua Farmer, let's get to him.
Costume double. He was my 77th overall player. They just scooped him up with, what are we at, 137?
Another
So
D tackle.
this was about some injury concerns and some durability and longevity, I should say. But
Joshua Farmer was supposed to be a first-round pick, potentially, and he had some injury problems. I like this pick. He was supposed to go at the beginning of the third or fourth round, they had thought. Probably would have been a higher draft pick if he didn't have injury problems throughout his career. I wonder if he's big enough to be D tackle. He might have to put some weight on, or they might move him to the edge. But I'll take it. Patriots need all these positions. I'm not mad at it. Got to stop building somewhere.
get labeled, okay, he might be a one contract.
Got to stop building somewhere. You might as well build your line. You think you got a quarterback. You got some pieces. A couple, not many. I'm interested to see what happens with the Patriots with the guys they signed in free agency. I know Spillane's a beast. I know the guy from Philly's a beast. I know the cornerback they got supposed to be a beast.
Will Howard. Kyle McCord threw for the most yards in college football last year, and beat Cam Ward on the final regular season game of the year for Syracuse. And then there's the question of Quinn Ewers, formerly of the Ohio State, going to Texas, leading Texas to college football playoffs and back-to-back years. I mean, this is a there are some other quarterbacks waiting to hear their name being called that are going to be going into the fifth round unless San Francisco chooses one of them with the final pick of the fourth round, pick 138 here in Green Bay.
Hello, Green Bay. What an amazing place. I just want to say hi to my son Flynn back in Australia. And what an amazing place to be here in Green Bay, where the 49ers and the Packers have had some amazing battles in the past. And with the 138th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Jordan Watkins, wide receiver, Mississippi. Go Niners! Yeah!
So this is about, what, the
fourth or fifth wideout we've had that's a 4.3 wideout that's gone just in this fourth round. I mean, it's incredible. He ran 4.37. I was a little bit surprised he ran that fast. I thought he'd be more in the high 4.4s. But this guy can play inside, outside. You watch the goal line fade work. To me, that's what I got excited about because he can adjust and go get the ball down there in the red zone. Another one, to me, CD, I think he's best on the move. You look at his teammate, Trey Harris, I thought was a little more fluid and smooth coming back down the stem. He was a little bit better getting him on the move.
I like what you talk about there. Go ahead and explain that just a little bit more when you're about on the move versus him running those type of routes where you go.
Jordan Watkins, Ole Miss. Played at Louisville for a while, too. Had almost 1,000 yards receiving this year in the SEC. Ran a 4.3 at the combine. Averaged 18 yards a reception and 9 receiving touchdowns. 6th SC player to do that since 2017. We're into round 5 now. Minnesota, Carolina, Baltimore. Minnesota, Miami, Seattle, Philly, New England, San Fran, Chicago, Dallas, Miami, Indianapolis, Arizona, Cincinnati, New York Giants. Coming up. Maybe Carolina. I know they got one young quarterback already that they weren't big on, but had a good end of the year last year. Started to look like he had some life in him again. If Carolina don't take him or Minnesota, maybe San Fran wants a backup. I don't know. And I look at some of the teams, and I look at them and I'm like, they could use a quarterback. Like, what do you have to lose at this point? Indianapolis, they could use a quarterback. That guy they have is always hurt. I can't think of his name. He came out of Miami too. Was it Richardson? Everyone's high on him. He's looked like shit. They don't have Flacco as a backup anymore. San Fran could use a backup. Maybe even Philly could use a backup. Maybe the reason he's not being drafted is because he's told teams he expects to start. Like, I'm not sitting the bench. I want to start. If not, I'm not interested. And if that's the case, no one's going to want him. That could be what happened too. Yeah, there's a lot of that shit like that, Ardell. I said the same thing too. Like, it's going to be a media problem. I think they're worried about the media. Just if the team doesn't play well and he's not playing, they're going to be up their ass about that. If the team's not playing well, they're going to scream that his dad should be the coach. Like, I can't just blame Dion and his kid. The media is just as much to blame, I think. Yeah, Miami could use a backup quarterback. That's what I'm saying. He's good enough to be a backup somewhere, at least. Yeah, he's better than Tebow was, no doubt. Better passer. There's enough athletically. We're talking just athletically and playing football. He's good enough. He should have been drafted by now. Maybe they're doing it because no one likes his dad. I don't know. But I don't think it's right. I think he's been fucked over. With all the information we have right now, I think he's been fucked over. I might change my mind if I find out some more, but with what I know right now, he's been fucked over. There's been at least 2 quarterbacks he's better than.
scouting community is very tight, and you can see them all coming together. It's our way of giving Terp a hug as you look at the Pete Carroll and the Raiders draft room, all just trying to, Terp, let you and let Stella and Gwyneth know how much this scouting community, this NFL community is hurting for you. We love you. Terp, every time I saw Terp, I just saw him at the Big 12 Pro Day, and
Yeah, you could say that about a lot of guys, Adele. There's been plenty of guys like that throughout history that they always draft. There's no more excuses why he hasn't been picked. You could give me every excuse under the sun. Well, he's probably not wrong about that. There's two teams that might have taken him, too. He's not wrong about that. Like what? He said some shit that people don't like. That's true. So what? People say all kinds of nasty shit, Adele. Come on. People have said way worse shit. People have been arrested for murders. People have fucking wrapped cars around fucking trees and have had drug histories. There's no more excuses. You could give me every excuse you want. I think it's hated.
Clock for second time, and you could see your best available.
I'm not even a fan of the kid. I'm really not. I'm really not a fan of him. Like, I think he's a decent player. I think he should get a shot. But we're in the 5th round. We're in the 5th round now. It's a bit ridiculous. Maybe that's it, Jet. Maybe. I think something's going to come out after the draft that something fucked up happened. Like maybe he's got a case coming or something. Like, because what else could it be? If it's just because Deion's a pain in the ass, it's not right to the kid. It's not right. I think it's fucked up. If it's like straight biased, it's not right. What are we going to become, the DEI? Like, we're going to become a DEI fucking team, and people that are number 1 first round picks don't get picked anymore? Oh, Ardell, you got to stop, buddy. Unless something comes out where he said something ridiculous, there's no way it's right. I think you just don't like Deion and his kid, which is fine. You don't have to. But just say, I don't like him. I say it all the time. I don't like guys. People that people love. Just say you don't like them. No, it's not his dad's fault. You can't. That'd be like me saying your dad murdered someone, and I say, Adele, you got to do the prison sentence with your dad. I don't think it's right. I don't.
The 2012 World Champions,
just say you don't like them.
back-to-back AFC North
I'm cool with that.
Would like to announce the 141st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. The Baltimore Ravens will select Carson Benson, tackle, Alabama A&M. Let's go Flock! Woo!
That's a big man.
Let's check on.
Yeah, he's either like blacklisted, blackballed, or something fucked up is going to come out of the news that blows people's minds, where they're either like, that's a big deal, or that's not a big deal, that's bullshit. Yeah, he shouldn't have his dad held against him like that. He shouldn't have that shit held against him. Especially, we're in the 5th round, bro. Yeah, you would. And who cares what his dad says? You don't pay attention to it. We're in the 5th round. No one's going to rip them apart for drafting them now. Sam Hall, 5th round pick, going to the Vikings. Seattle receives a 5th round pick. Yeah, I disagree, Del. I disagree. I disagree greatly. I don't know if that will be would happen. And he's not allowed to have an opinion. I don't think you see the bigger picture. I think you just don't like Shedeur. Or you don't like Dion, or you don't like them both. I think you just don't like them, and that's fine. But if you don't like them, you should just say, I don't like them. You should stand on business. Nobody wants the culture cancer. Yeah, but by not allowing people to be themselves that are being normal is a little fucked up. No, you said he's an ass. You didn't say you didn't like him. You don't like him. Which is fine, but you refuse to say it. Just say I don't like him. I think he's a piece of shit.
Pick for the 12s everywhere.
And with the 142nd pick in the 2025 draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Riley Mills, defensive end from Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, good pick. If he didn't get injured, he would have got drafted much higher. I was kind of hoping New England would take him. That's a good pick for Seattle late in this draft. If he didn't get hurt, boy, Notre Dame might have knocked off Ohio State. He was a huge part of Notre Dame's defense. Losing him really hurt.
Right here, he can win on the backside with quickness. You'll see him run down wide receivers.
That's a good pick.
I just wrote down this guy's a winner. Yeah, this is just
He's a winner, is right.
This when he got hurt in the college football playoff, chasing Nathan Moore.
His leg just got
quarterback. It just got caught underneath, unfortunately. Not only that, he was at the combine for the medical and everything else. I had a chance to meet him down on the field, watching and encouraging. He's the type of guy you can't wait to add to your locker room.
All right, the Miami Dolphins.
Riley Mills gets one injury, falls to the 5th round. He would have been a first rounder if he didn't get hurt. Top 3 anyway. Miami. Coming up.
This pick is coming playing this fall. We'll find out on May 14th.
Oh, thank you so much, Adele. Why don't you break off I don't like Dion and his son. Keep it real. Just stand on business, dog. Just say, I don't like the motherfuckers. I'm glad they haven't been drafted. Fuck them. I can respect that. At least you're keeping it real.
Has that wide 4-point stance, violent club swim move, some pure bull rush. Not a lot of polish to his game, but you see a lot of power, CD.
You see the power, and you also see that quick jump around and get up into the backfield. Loves to have that type of a move to fool people. Transfer from Tennessee to Maryland, provides a load inside.
Where do the Browns trade up for? 90 seconds left for them to be on the clock for that. Then the Eagles, Patriots, and Niners here in Green Bay.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him. Wherever he goes, even if he doesn't get drafted, I'm going to be rooting for him. Because I think they're fucking him over on purpose. Unless something comes out horrible, I got to hear what, we're going to find out. As of right now, with nothing coming out, it's not right. No one's going to convince me otherwise. He's worth taking a shot on. We're in the fucking, like you said, Jet, we're in the 5th round. We're not talking first, second, third. Even after the 3rd, it's like, all right, take a fucking shot. We need a quarterback somewhere. Can never have too many quarterbacks. They get hurt constantly. Someone's going to score. You watch. Someone's going to score, Jet. He might not be great, but he'll stick around the league for a while if they give him a shot. And if he doesn't get a shot, how do we ever know? That's fucked up. That's the more bitch move out, to not give the kid a shot at all. Nobody. And then, right, if the NFL says, what if it comes out that the NFL told the entire league, do not draft him, and that comes out or something? I'm just saying, hypothetically. That's a fucking huge lawsuit. You can't just be like, no one can draft this guy. Nope, we don't want him in the league. You can't do that, man. With all the fucking guys you've had over the years that are monsters out in public and out in the world. Like Aaron Hernandez and fucking, there's so many of them. Guys that aren't good guys. Like if it ever gets uncovered, some shit like that went down. It's going to be a fucking Greg Hardy, not a good guy. Yeah, like there's so many fucking guys. Deshaun Watson, fucking Robert Kraft. Fucking you got the owners going to the rubbing tug getting arrested. What the fuck? That's okay. We don't know this kid's ever gotten in trouble. Just don't want to draft him. He's bad news. If anyone drafts him, like if something like that ever came out, it would be a huge lawsuit. It would be a whole different type of ism. It wouldn't be racism. Maybe there'd be some racism involved in it. There might be some. I get what he comes with. I get that. The minute the team plays bad, they're going to want Dion to be the coach, and it's going to cause all that shit. But they're going to talk about shit no matter what. It's the NFL. They find a news story every fucking day, several times a day, and pick at teams no matter what. It's not going to be any different than if it was anyone else at the end of the day. It's just, I think they don't want it because it's about Dion and his son. And that's lame. That's fucking lame. It's a media circus no matter what, Ardell. It's the sports are a media circus. Like, there's no excuse under the sun unless it's a legal thing as to why he shouldn't be drafted. There's not a single excuse.
Something. I mean, that would be something. And that's the only way I would say it. But let's see how the next 10 minutes plays out here. The Browns, as we all know, had a shot to. They were the team to have Travis Hunter right there, and they passed up that chance. And then they passed up.
Then he should be drafted.
Chances at Shedeur after that. Let me get this accurately. I should have the card here since they're right on the clock. They passed on Shedeur 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and including the selection of Dylan Gabriel last night, 94, to complete the Heisman Trophy finalist quartet from Manhattan being drafted in this draft. The other 3, including Travis Hunter, drafted in the top 5 picks of this draft.
If I told you they traded for the 2 to 5 and got Shedeur Sanders, I don't think you would have thought we were saying with the 5th round pick.
All right, here's where you got it. Here's the Cleveland Browns pick. Is this the moment?
The Seattle Seahawks have traded the 144th pick to the Cleveland Browns. With the 144th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Shedeur Sanders.
There we go. Cleveland scored. Good. Cleveland's going to do well with him.
The reaction in the draft hall says it all.
He's better than what they got.
By we, I'm including every human on the screen. Every single person who's been watching our draft coverage, and anyone else's. We appreciate their viewing and viewership. Shedeur Sanders just went, but he went to the team that could have had him 6 times over. Chose not to, including drafting another quarterback. Let's give Shedeur his moment. Go for it.
Yeah, let's get to the film. I feel like we've talked about everything but the tape for so long now. Let's get to what.
Are you a Browns fan, Ardell? Watch you be a Browns fan. That would make my day. Are you a Browns fan? Oh, bummer. I would have really liked to see him to go to the Raiders. He's going to end up starting for them. Watch.
Taking bad sacks at inopportune times. The thing to me was just playing faster. He just got to speed up his clock.
Wow, you're hostile today, man. Fuck's up with you, dude? Did someone piss in your Wheaties? Holy shit.
Because things are going to go faster in the league to begin with. So things that you could get out of in college, because you always think your athleticism is going to beat most of the.
Right? Now you got to deal with him fucking twice a year. Imagine that. He went to a team that fucking by Ardell. I hope you have a good day, buddy. I'm sorry you're having a bad day. Seriously. Now you got to play him twice a year, and he's all pissed off because your team didn't fucking draft him. He's got plenty of motivation now.
So daunting that Shedeur Sanders, who was a borderline first-round
I hope he does
talent,
good.
can't go in there and compete.
Just 'cause they
And to
fucked
me,
him.
it's the right style of offense. They got the runners for him earlier in the draft. The way Stefanski calls plays, this fits what Shedeur Sanders is going to need to go forward in the NFL. Well, he's going to hate where he went, but it's a good spot.
Let's talk about that, because we have been saying for 2 straight days now, it's not when you go, it's what you do when you go. I mean, Max Crosby even tweeted that.
I hope he does good. I hope he sticks it up the fucking Steelers' ass, too, for not picking him. Yeah, that was a good pickup for them. If he can stay healthy, he's got a shot at contributing. He plays hard. What more could you ask for? I know there's a lot of knocks on Cam Scatterboo, but he produced. Yeah, everyone's going to have to suffer. He might suck, but he's good enough to be drafted. We've seen guys way worse. Way worse. Way worse. I'm actually rooting for him now a little bit. A little bit. And he's going to have to play against he's going to have to play against all great quarterbacks. 2 of the 3, depending on who the Steelers end up playing at quarterback. If they play Rodgers, all 3. He's going to play fucking Joe Burrows. He's going to play Lamar. He's got plenty of motivation now. I think Deion's learned his lesson probably too. If he did talk a bit, I don't think you're going to hear much anymore. Who knows? Maybe Deion coaches the fucking Browns. You never know. Shit changes all the time. Crazy.
been kind of controlled and the path has been laid out by Deion. He's coming into one of the most crowded quarterback rooms in the NFL as a 5th-round pick. He is going to have to earn everything. So that competitive nature, your dad's one of the most competitive people that's ever walked this earth. We're getting ready to find out how competitive Shedeur Sanders is. He's going to have to earn everything.
He's going to need the Baker Mayfield chip, their former quarterback. Carry that with him. I co-sign on everything that you're saying, Daniel, and I think of it this way. I'll bet it's happened to you. I'll bet it's happened to you. There have been times where you have not gotten what you thought you...
The media is going to be crazy no matter what. The media is crazy. No matter where this kid went, they were going to be crazy. They're going to be crazy after.
What are you going to do now that that's in front of you? Are you going to continue to say, "But I wanted this over here"? That's not there anymore. This is what's here. It's right now. I've experienced it. I think a lot of people at home have experienced it. What's going to be the next step for you? You can be angry. You can be upset. I get it. The next step is go out and fight. And I'll guarantee you, that's part of what they're talking about in the Sanders family right now. You get a chance to show the guy that picked ahead of you you're better than him. You get a chance to show a guy who's won a Super Bowl that you're better than he is. You get a chance to show the guy who's a 1st-round pick that you're better than he is. This is your opportunity. So Shedeur Sanders, I get it. The frustrations are, I wanted to give you a hug for 2 days now. But now's the chance to get up and go. I've been there. It's not fun. But you got a choice to make, battle or not. I think he's going to battle.
Well, in case anybody's wondering how often we see a draft where
that's what I'm saying, Jeff.
2 quarterbacks in the same draft.
He was worth taking a shot on. Cleveland, it's perfect timing, Colorado University wrote. The 144th pick of 2025, Shedeur Sanders goes to the Cleveland Browns. About fucking time. He might turn that place around. Shit. They always got a quarterback hurt. They need quarterbacks. He's going to learn from Joe, who's a veteran Super Bowl champ. He's going to have plenty of competition. And if he don't play there, they got a trade chip. If he don't play in Cleveland, someone's going to trade for him eventually. People aren't going to be able to help themselves. Every year you see teams in trouble with quarterbacks. I read about that a little bit today and yesterday, Joe, after the draft ended. He's got a little bit of say, but it all falls on Khan, their GM. He gets the final say, from what I read. It was a local, I think it was the Pittsburgh Gazette or some fucking thing. The paper I read it out of. I read it out of a Pittsburgh publication.
Puts a hashtag.
Thank you. And don't think for a second Denzel Ward's not being intentional by using...
I thought the Patriots had a pick. Who the fuck did they take? Swinson. Braden Swinson, edge rusher, 6'4", 250, LSU. Yeah, I don't understand it either, Jet, because even if you sign Rodgers for a year or two, you're going to need a guy. You're going to need a guy. They say next year's draft is going to be the worst draft ever for quarterbacks. I don't know if there's some stud coming up from high school soon, but they keep saying the quarterback position keeps getting worse and worse to find guys to play.
First next year, they can do whatever they want. It is a lottery ticket for the Browns at a very low cost.
Someone's going to grab him off him, too.
You guys want to chime in on...
That's the thing. If he doesn't play in Cleveland, someone's going to trade for him eventually. Someone's going to end up wanting to give him a shot. It's just a matter of time. Too many quarterback problems every year, year after year.
If you want a culture of competition, which every coach preaches, man, they drafted 2 backs, 2 big-time backs in this draft. Now they've got 2 quarterbacks.
They're trying to get back to
this is the purest form of sport is competition. And before you can play the other team, you got to compete with your own guys. Now, it's going to be healthy, and they're not going to be hating on each other and not fighting each other, but it's going to be a healthy competition, and it's going to be fun. Practice is a rookie minicamp, man. We've got a quarterback competition at a rookie minicamp. How great is that?
Yeah.
I would run to Cleveland for the playbook and the opportunity right now, because exactly what you're saying, Dylan Gabriel, that's who he is. That's what he's about. He's done it at 3 different places: UCF, Oklahoma, Oregon, and did it really high level, adapted, changed, learned teammates, learned schools, all these things. I would run there if I'm Shedeur Sanders. I'd have my dukes up and we're going to fight. I've said this multiple times in different ways already today. We've all had these dings along the way, and there's been days when I've gone and been in the fetal position and turned down the shades, and I got to find a way to come back. Either you find a way back or it consumes you.
Yep.
And that's where he is right now. I think he's going to find his way back and go out there and fight. I don't doubt that at all. That's why I pounded the table for him in my article. But that's where the moment of truth is. But I'm a firm believer. What Ian said is right. It's a lottery ticket for Cleveland, but it's an opportunity, because I think Cleveland wants to play the best guy. They've gone through more quarterbacks again in the last few years. They're ready to play, and getting the backs, what they're doing with the line, they're signaling Kevin Stefanski football is back in play. And to me, that's perfect for Shedeur Sanders. And I firmly believe he's got a better chance to start than Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel, I think, is going to be seen as pure backup. We'll see how it works.
I know Dylan Gabriel is not going to look at it that way.
I know he's not going to look at it that way. I'm telling you, if I'm drafting, I'm thinking Shedeur Sanders might be my starter. I know what I'm getting with Dylan Gabriel. I hope I get more. It's going to be a very interesting fight on his hands.
And then just lastly, how does a quarterback competition work?
They drafted Dylan Gabriel, too, the guy I wasn't high on. It makes no fucking sense. In my mind.
They're going to have all 4 there.
I mean, once we get to, let's see when we get to training camp. The other thing is, Joe Flacco, I can imagine if they, Joe, we're going to take some reps off you. I don't know that you're going to get a big argument there from Joe, as much football as he's played at his age.
Came off the couch and got comeback player of the year. He's not worried about it.
Moments ago, Shedeur Sanders, this is his reaction. Yep, it's time to take the plunge and get into the National Football League. His long week.
Oh, so that is over with for the most part. Well, I'm going to hang around for a few more minutes, but wow. The fucking team that was supposed to take him into the first round got him in the 5th round. Wow. Cleveland's got a lot of quarterbacks. Someone's going to hit the road. Maybe they're going to get rid of Pickett. Maybe they're going to get rid of Flacco if one of these young guys pan out. Like, Cleveland's trying to fix that place, man. And with all the quarterbacks they have and how quarterbacks are a necessity, they'll end up trading a few of these guys this year, I bet. At least one of them. Get some more draft picks or a player. I see what they're doing. It's not a horrible thing to do. They didn't waste a pick at all getting him so late. Like, half the guys drafted this year aren't even going to be in the league next year. You're not going to take a shot on Sanders? Come on. Half these guys are going to be gone at the end of the fucking season. 1 year, done. Half of them won't even, the other half of them won't even fucking make it through minicamp. They'll be gone. Oh, Jadon Blue going to the Cowboys. Running back out of Texas. Cleveland beating the shit out of the Heat again. Yep, up by 20. Yeah. It's going to help them whether they trade quarterbacks for draft picks or whatever. It's not going to hurt them. Not going to hurt them for sure. They still got Bonehead Watson. Who knows what they're going to do with him? I don't think he's even going to play again. But you never know anymore. The NFL, people fucking last. Look at Geno Smith. Looked like he was a bum up until he got to Seattle. Now he's getting a big contract to go play for the Raiders late in his career. Sam Darnold played horrible, got ran out of New York for the Jets. Goes and someone gets injured in Minnesota, gets a huge contract, $100 million. See you later. Getting paid. Oh yeah, he's still around. He tore his ACL or his MCL or something. Hold on, I gotta check a message. All right, sorry about that. But yeah, Watson's still around. He's under contract. He's going to be out this entire season. Yeah, so they got two young quarterbacks now to probably offset that, Mark. A third and a fifth round guy, they don't got to pay them for I know they don't got to pay guaranteed money.
Return to Cleveland. If in fact Shedeur Sanders becomes the 41st or 42nd or even 43rd here, depending on all the names the Browns now have in their quarterback room, let's start with what that might actually look like in the Kevin Stefanski system here, Baldy.
Well, I want to know how you're going to orchestrate this.
Yeah.
I mean, Dylan Gabriel was a third-round pick, 94th pick. Kenny Pickett is there. Joe Flacco is a guy that took him to the playoffs 2 years ago. He's 40 years old. He's back in Audubon, New Jersey right now, watching this whole thing unfold. I thought as soon as Cleveland took Dylan Gabriel with the 94th pick in the third round yesterday, that it took Cleveland off the interest of drafting a quarterback.
Yeah.
We kept doing this through the first round, the second round, the third round. Once a team took a quarterback, Jalen Milroe, whatever, you eliminated Shedeur from those positions. And now here's two rookie quarterbacks on this team. There's only so many reps. There's only so many preseason games. I don't even know how you evaluate what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
I know you've got some thoughts on that, MJD. We're going to get to it here in a second, but we got to get to Berlin for a pick where the Colts are going to host the first ever NFL regular season game in Berlin, and we're going to get their pick now at 151.
Guten Tag from the Olympic Stadium here in Berlin, Germany. This season, the Indianapolis Colts will make history as the first NFL team to play a regular season game right in this beautiful stadium. We're excited to bring Colts football to fans around the world. Let me introduce you to star defensive player, team captain, Kenny Moore II.
With the 151st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select DJ Giddens, running back,
Kansas State. He can play. He had a huge game. Oh no, that's not the kid I'm thinking of. He did have a huge game. That's right. I think against Dion too. DJ Giddens out of Kansas State. Yeah, I wouldn't have gave Deshaun Watson that money. When people are going and getting into shit like he was getting into, nah, I wouldn't have gave him that contract. Especially when he was being a creep about it on top of it. Like, it's one thing going and getting a massage, it's normal. When you're going and getting those type of massages and the girls are getting weird about it. Like, go ask, if you want to go to a rub and tug, go ask Robert Kraft, where the girls don't mind. Like, fucking don't go to a normal girl, like a normal place, and fucking think you're going to get away with it. Asking like regular fucking girls that give massages that are like professionals for tug jobs is a bit extreme. Like, and he's a millionaire. He should, like, even if you do the rub and tug thing, fucking like Robert Kraft, he's another one that shouldn't have to do it either. You're a zillionaire. Come on, dude. Can't get laid in a whorehouse full with a handful of 50s. What the fuck? Right. Oh, they got them all over. They got them all over. I know they got them all over. I'm sure. I hear about the places. You see them on the news all the time getting popped. You see I've seen them on the news all over the fucking place every other day. Oh, a fucking tug and rub busted in such and such. Them shits are around. You hear about them on the news all the time.
Taken in the first 12 picks last year. Shedeur Sanders, the sixth quarterback off the board, and it comes in the fifth round in this 2025 NFL draft. Okay, time now for Next Gen Stats, powered by AWS. Looking at the highest production scores of quarterbacks in this draft, and look, I mean, that is one of the crown.
Highest production scores based on the quarterback position. Shedeur Sanders was 87. Cam Ward was 85. Jackson Dott was 80. And Dylan Gabriel was 78. That kid got fucked so bad. I'm sorry. I don't care what people say. Shedeur Sanders was good enough to be picked before this.
Postseason. We're back with the draft news.
That Browns fan is one happy guy right now. Hurry up and buy. Housekeeping, you need pillow. Housekeeping, you need pillow. Yeah, he's got a big ego. He's worth drafting just because everyone's going to buy his jersey. If I was an NFL team, I would have drafted him just to make money off the jerseys. Seriously. Maybe that makes me a scumbag, but if I was an owner of a team, oh yeah, we're drafting Sanders. We're going to make some money. Fuck it. We're the Browns. We're dysfunctional as they come. People don't expect us to win anyway. Fucking sell the jerseys. They're going to make more money just off the fucking jerseys. There's never going to be a player drafted so low, besides Brady maybe. He's going to sell more fucking jerseys. You watch. Everyone's going to have a Sanders jersey. Except for people that just can't stand him. I know there's people like that out there. And that's fine. Yeah. See, this is the thing. Even if I'm a hater and I don't like someone, I usually can like get past at some point. Like I can't stand LeBron. He's still in my top fucking 5 or 10 players of all time. I'm the biggest Celtics fan going. I fucking can't stand LeBron James. I can't stand when people even try to compare him close to Jordan. he's still fucking great. You know? He's still great. I'm not saying that this kid's on that level. I'm just using it as an example. Yeah, it's a great opportunity for him, Mark. We were talking about that yesterday and today. He's definitely should have a chip on his shoulder. But there's a lot of people that just hate a person no matter what. It happens. I'm trying to think of someone I'm irrationally hateful towards. Like that. Usually the people have done something bad. Done something bad. Like Ric Flair's a complete piece of shit. I can't stand Ric Flair. I still can't say he wasn't a huge part of wrestling. This, you know, Michael Jackson, people don't know what happened with him, if he did stuff with little kids or not. People still fucking love him. Some people hate him. You still can't say he wasn't one of the biggest musicians ever. Because it's a straight lie. Like, even if he did that shit and it's horrible, he's still one of the biggest and best ever. It's probably why they say you don't want to meet your heroes. Right? I'm sure that's why they say that. Yeah, be careful. You might not want to meet your heroes. I've met a few people that were famous or ball players, and some of them were not cool. Some of them were not cool. Coaches were not cool. So I get it. But I know them firsthand, where I can be like, or at least seen it firsthand. Rick Pitino was like that to me when I was a kid too. At the golf course up the street, he wasn't too like friendly to people. Yeah, he admitted to that, but he didn't admit to like doing weird stuff with him. I don't even want to open that can of worms today. Because there's people that say it happened. There's people that swear nothing happened, that slept over. So it's like, that's a fucking rabbit hole to go down for the ages that I'm not trying to do today. Please. Please. I don't have it in me. There's so much of that shit going on all the time with everything nowadays. And you don't know what happened because half the time it's not even a criminal suit. It's a civil. Which is weird. Civil suits are weird. Because you're going after money for something that kind of happened that was criminal. Especially stuff like that is absolutely criminal. So go on days and days and days. You could flip-flop with the potential variables on each side of it, whether you think they're innocent or guilty. But yeah, he had kids of his own. They're older now, I think almost all of them. I think he's got a daughter and 2 sons. He might have more than that. I know 2. I seen something with 2 of his sons the other day on social media. They were like watching their dad perform and reacting to it, a performance they never saw. And then I know that I've seen the daughter post shit. I know the daughter and I think some of the other kids also had a bunch of money come available to them in the last year. I read that in the newspaper. That they had to finally he had money put away for him a lot. And they get it every so often. And it was like they got like close to 20 million. I think the article said it was up there. If it wasn't 20, it was at least in the teens. It may have been higher. I can't recall, but it was millions and millions and millions. Dante Trader Jr. going to Miami. Safety from Maryland. All Big Ten honorable mention.
Guys, one of your guys.
That's my baby. I'm not going to talk about it. We're going to go here to another guy.
Cleveland running away with it against Miami. Motherfuckers. So Shedeur Sanders is going to be a Brown to start his career. Let's see if I can find a family reaction. They seem happy. They seem pretty damn happy he got drafted. They don't seem that fucking mad. Fucking funny. It's funny too because I seen a video. I think it was them on Instagram, and they were recording. Someone was recording Shiloh and Shedeur during the first round, and Shiloh, the kid, the brother that plays safety. He's fucking funny. I watched a few of his videos. He's pretty funny. Shiloh goes, damn. He goes, damn. They doing this to you? I can only imagine what they're going to do to me. Because he's not as good of a player. He's probably not going to get drafted. I think he kind of knows it. He's like, damn, they're doing this to you? What are they going to do to me? Oh, fucking funny. I'll try and find it. I thought it was funny. Maybe you got to see the clip, but and he always says funny shit like that. Like the other brother Shiloh's kind of funny. He does like Dion impressions. He's pretty good at it. I got to give him that credit. Shiloh blamed his dad after day 2 too. I forgot that video I saw too. He's like, Dad, it's all your fault. Fucking blaming him, busting Dion's balls. It's like, it's all your fault, Dad. Fucking funny. Like, they're pretty funny, dude, some of the shit they do. Like, I don't think they're fucking completely douchey all the time. Oh, I found it good. I thought this was funny.
Selfish ass. They doing him, making him wait. Oh, what? Me? Oh, you good, bro. You good, bro. See, bro, I don't even know what they're gonna do with me, bro, because they doing you like this. Selfish ass. They doing him, making him wait. Oh, what? Me? Oh.
That's pretty funny, dude. I think it's funny.
See, bro, I don't even know what they're gonna do with me, bro, because they're doing you like.
That's pretty funny. Like, damn, they're doing. You were supposed to be the first round draft pick, potential top 5. They doing that to you? What the hell are they gonna do to me? Oh, it's fucking funny. I think it's funny. Like, even like for I'm kidding. For like for Shedeur to be able to laugh at himself, like hey, how bad can he fucking be? Like, if he was that much of an egomaniac, he wouldn't laugh at that. It was funny, too. They even had, like, the fucking Shiloh and them. They torture each other. They had fucking... There was another video. I think they prank called them, too. Fucking funny. See if I can find the one of them blaming his dad.
If you wasn't dead.
Yeah, I found it. Good. Oh, this is pretty funny, dude. I think it's funny. I don't know what you guys think. I think it's funny. They blaming you, Dad. I hope I can find it. Shit. It fucking went off the page. There we go.
Wasn't dead. Then we would get some figures. If you wasn't that dude, Shedeur wouldn't get drafted in round number 2. It's your fault. If you wasn't that, then we would get some figures. If you wasn't that dude, Shedeur wouldn't get drafted in round number 2. It's your fault. If you wasn't that.
Pretty funny. I think it's funny that they could laugh at the situation. I mean, could they really be that horrible? Like, they might be loudmouths and pains in the ass and shit, but I don't think they're fucking egomaniacs like that. They're able to kid around. A real egomaniac can't even kid around like that. Ever. Ever. It's not in their DNA. They would, like, take offense to shit like that. Funny shit. Well, that saga is over, thank God. For now, anyway. For now, it's over. Oh, shit. UFC tonight. We're going to check out some of that UFC fights tonight, I think. I'm going to go through the card real quick. Machado Gary versus Prates is your main event, UFC Fight Night. Main card starts at 9 o'clock, I believe, Eastern Standard Time. Yep, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time from Kansas City, Missouri. Ian Machado Gary, Carlos Prates is your main event. Anthony Smith will fight Zhang Mingyang. Anthony Smith loses. I think he's going to retire. He may retire if he wins. I think he's getting towards the end. Giga Chikadze versus David Onama. Michael Pereira versus Abbas Magomedov. Randy Brown versus Nicholas Dalby. Ikram Aleskarov versus Andre Munoz. All guys that have fought pretty much before. I've seen almost every one of these guys fight. Well, definitely all the guys on the left side that I just said. Prelims start at 6. Chelsea Chandler versus Jocelyn Edwards. Timmy Kuamba versus Roberto Romero. Jacqueline Amarim versus Pollyanna Viviana. Two Brazilian chicks. They're kind of cute, too. At least they look at it by the picture. Malcolm Wellmaker versus Cameron Simon. Damone Blackshear versus Alatengale, I think is how you say it. Chris Gutierrez versus John Castaneda. Evan Elder versus Gage Young. Matt Schnell versus Jimmy Flick. Those supposedly start at 6. I don't know how many of those we're going to watch, but I'll probably do the main card anyway. Hang out and do that. Fucking Cavaliers look like they're rolling. Shedeur Sanders has landed. About halfway through the 5th round, I'd say. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. Halfway-ish. Oh. Did I say Shedeur Sanders? I meant Shedeur. Shiloh hasn't been drafted yet. Probably not going to get drafted. If he does, he'll be very late. Niners getting ready to pick. And then we got Philly, the Jets, Carolina, Pittsburgh, Philly, Seattle, Tennessee, Philly. Philly's got a ton of picks. Holy shit. All right, you have a good time. I'm good. All right, bye-bye. All right, be safe. So, yeah, we might watch some UFC tonight, I think. I need a break from the NBA after my Celtics collapsed. Fucking collapse of epic proportions. And, of course, my chat. My chat stalled. Sorry, guys. Hope the decks, whatever that says. You might want to wait a few. Oh. Safety, Marquise Sigel. Kansas State going to San Fran. Fucking Shedeur Sanders going to Cleveland, of all places. I thought Cleveland wasn't going to take him once they took Gabriel. Must not be too sold on him. Philadelphia drafted a linebacker out of Georgia, Mondin Jr. A lot of Georgia guys being drafted as usual. A lot of Georgia guys. Like almost all of Philadelphia's whole team's fucking going to be Georgia guys. They love going to Georgia. Watch Jackson Dot be a fucking bust. Watch all these guys above him get picked and be busts. Guarantee at least 2 or 3 of them will. Everyone's going to be busting balls for a little while. I think if Shedeur gets a shot, he'll get to play somewhere. Eventually, May not be this year. There's so many teams that could have used someone young. I can't believe it took that long.
Picks that have been made while we were off, and the Los Angeles crew took things in.
Oh, shit. Well, I'm going to take a break for a bit. I'll be back for UFC tonight. Thank you guys for hanging. I'll see you in a few hours.